You're watching The Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. Today's topic, how small improvements to your smile can make a big difference. In fact, according to my first guest, it can change your life. With us, we have cosmetic dentist, Dr. Ginger Price. Dr. Price, welcome to the program.
Hi, Randy.
So now, I first had you on the show about 10 years ago. Is that right?
Yes, 10 years, Randy.
So has a lot changed, by the way? Are you much better now than you were back then? What do you think?
Well, of course. I mean,
Okay.
as they say, repetition is the mother of learning. So we've just, technology keeps improving. We've done tons more cases, lots more smiles. So things keep getting better.
Now, when I first saw you, you came in the studio. I haven't seen you for a long time. And I said, you look great. You haven't aged. And you said, it's my teeth.
It's my teeth.
How in the world could that be?
Teeth make all the difference,
So
Randy.
you changed your teeth a little bit since last time I saw you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did. Yes.
They look
For a
great.
variety of reasons. I had a car accident years ago, so I had an old bridge, but my bottom teeth had started to really age and discolor. And, well, you know this, Randy. You talk to people all the time.
Yeah.
How much do bottom teeth show?
They do.
They show a lot when you're speaking. So I had to have everything redone, and I'm just thrilled.
Good.
So, plus I have to have show teeth, right?
Yeah, yeah. Now, for people that don't know you, I called you a cosmetic dentist at the beginning of the show, but you're more than that. So who's the typical patient? What are the different services you offer and provide?
Well, as I always say, I'm a general dentist with a cosmetic eye and a cosmetic angle. Because, I mean, even if it's a tiny little corner, Randy, it has to be pretty, has to be perfect.
Okay.
We have a whole range of services. And as I always like to say, one of the things that I think I'm very good at is finding the simplest procedure that's going to get you the result. So it could be just some whitening. Who doesn't want whiter teeth? So whitening, of course, we have an excellent hygiene department because maintenance is very important.
I mean, you're one of the busiest cosmetic practices in Arizona.
Oh, we stay busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a good reputation. I feel like we have to keep on top of it, keep earning it. So
Now, I interrupted you. Okay, so you do a lot of whitening, obviously. Invisalign. Is that a popular thing for adults as well?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And it's always the lower front teeth that crowd. And as the lowers crowd, they can start shifting the top. So, I mean, sometimes it could be as short as 6 months. And we have a way to speed that up, by the way. It's called Propel, and it cuts the time in half. So people really like that.
So what's the next level up you're doing for cosmetics?
Well, we do a lot of bonding and recontouring. Someone has that vampire-like
Yes, I know somebody like that.
And it could be very simple. It could be just smoothing or a little minor bonding. Bonding's the glass-filled resin that's tooth-colored. And it could be just a few veneers are needed, as few as 4 sometimes. We also replace a lot of missing teeth with dental implants. That's very popular, very successful. We do, of course, a lot of crowns, single crowns.
Now, you have a machine that makes them on the same day. Is that correct?
We do, yes. So it's computer-aided technology, so everything is digital. We scan the tooth, design it on the computer, and mill it out.
Okay,
and
good.
It gets glazed right on site.
Veneers, very popular today?
Oh, yes.
A big part of your practice?
Veneers are very, very popular for people, yes.
I sent one of my friends to you. I forgot all about that. He said, who's the best dentist in Arizona? Because he has a lot of money, this guy. He could go anywhere. And I said, Ginger Price.
And, of course, he's in sales and in front of people all the time. So, yes, I remember that. He was
used
thrilled.
to never smile
He was
before.
thrilled.
He never used to smile before.
That's right.
Now, in fact, I met his girlfriend. This is a true story. I met his girlfriend. He goes, don't tell her I got veneers. I thought it was hilarious. Why not, right?
Well, and that's interesting you say that because when they're natural, people don't know that they're veneers.
I always feel like I could spot veneers. That's a good point because his do look natural.
Yeah. It depends on, there's quite a few things that go into it to make them natural. Texture, translucency, the color not being too low of value or high of value. So there's a lot to it, Randy.
You are convinced that you could change your smile and change your life.
Oh,
Elaborate
absolutely.
on that. What do you mean by that?
Well, I see it every day. When you're confident with your smile, I mean, it's all about confidence. Success and confidence are interlinked. You can't separate them. So the more confident you feel, you have something different that you project.
So you see transformations every week in your practice.
Oh, absolutely. We definitely do. I'll tell you a funny story. We had a young adult that went through some Invisalign. This was about 2 years ago, and he had some twisted up front teeth. And he came in and told us that people at the office, they thought something was up because he was going around smiling all the time. And prior to that, he had never smiled. So it changed how he projected to people.
Yeah, it definitely adds to overall charisma.
Oh, absolutely. It does.
So you brought a lot of photos. What are we looking at here?
Well, take a look at this one, Randy.
Okay.
This is Erin, and attractive young adult, obviously. She came in because she was unhappy with her front teeth. And you can see that they're rotated and some old fillings. You know, not the worst before that you've ever seen, okay? And simple case, she had Invisalign. It was about a 10-month case. And then we simply put 4 veneers on the front teeth. So Randy, look at the corners of her mouth on the before, and then look at them on the after.
Yes.
See how the smile is much wider? It fills the lip display much better.
Mm-hmm. So that was done with just 2 veneers and a little bit of Invisalign? 4 veneers and a little bit of Invisalign.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Now, veneers don't stain, right?
Veneers stay the same color.
And you have veneers?
I do.
So you don't have to even really brush your teeth?
I
mean, you don't have to worry about staining. You don't have to worry about staining.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't have to whiten them. There's no maintenance.
That's
maintaining
nice.
the color.
So you have a stack of photos. What else are you looking at?
This is Mike. And he's been a client, 23 years. And see, take a look at the before. Randy, those are actually my veneers that I did for him 20 years ago. And so he wanted, I mean, they were fine. They weren't chipping off or decaying, but he wanted the brighter, updated look. And he wanted to do the lower. So now take a look at the after.
Very nice.
See how his eyes come out? The smile's much more animated.
He already has like a great smile. He looks like a happy guy. But
Yeah.
it definitely updates him.
Oh, yeah.
Makes him look healthy.
Absolutely. And he tells me wherever he goes, people just compliment him on his smile. So
When you say veneers for certain people are inevitable, what does that mean?
well, that really is true. It's really just a matter of time and a matter of if you want to look and feel your best. Because over time, our teeth get worn and tired and chipped and dark. And, you know, as time goes on, whitening doesn't work as well. So that's why people choose veneers at a certain age, you know. Here's another patient.
All right.
This is Laurie. So let's take a look at her before picture, and I'll tell you what's going on there. So if you look at the smile curve, it's actually a reverse, where the 2 front teeth are shorter than the eye teeth. So it's going the opposite direction of the lower lip. And on top of that, the teeth have gotten very worn looking and flat. You know, that flat, worn look is just not feminine, you know, not as attractive as it could be. So by redesigning the shapes and making everything flow, I mean, it's all about the flow. So now you see her, take a look at that after.
Wow.
You see her smile as a whole. Now you can see the shapes are a lot more feminine. And see how everything really follows the lower lip there?
So the teeth just kind of perfectly...
It's a beautiful...
So that's all by design?
It's all by design, exactly.
So when I see big veneers...
Yes.
Is that the fault of the dentist or the patient wanted that look?
I would say nobody wants big chunky teeth. I think it's...
But they're all over the place.
I know, they are.
So I know you're trying to be polite, I think, right now.
They are, yeah.
So whose fault is it? Is it the eye of the dentist, the artistic eye of the dentist, you think?
Well, what I will say is we put a lot more effort into the design, the initial design, and to the temporaries. So when we do a case like that, we see the person a week after they've had their temporary. We sit down together, take pictures, and go over everything. Of course, I'll immediately see something. You know, maybe the eye teeth are too pointy, or there's something that's not level. But that way myself and the patient, we know that we've got a home run, instead of, I would say that the tendency is to rely so much on the lab that the dentist will just say, oh, don't worry, you're going to love it. And then there's really no tweaking. When you look at the before and after, what do you see?
You know what you were saying, feminine. Yeah, it's a more feminine smile. But she does, and without being insensitive, she looks more attractive. I think anybody, and we'll put these up on the screen, she does. She looks more attractive in the after.
Yes, dramatic.
I don't think anybody would disagree with that. She has a different hairstyle. Do you see a lot of that, where people kind of change their look a little bit after their teeth?
Oh, yeah. It all starts with the teeth.
Now, you're a dentist, right? So you probably think the teeth are the most important
thing. Teeth are the
thing?
center of the universe. That's right.
Okay. Okay, good.
Let me show you this next patient. And there's a little tie-in here, because after Laurie got her teeth done, she meets David.
Is that right?
Yeah, it is. You know, he is a decent smile. I think if you look at that picture, most people would say, well, gee, you know, what's wrong with that smile? But he didn't like it. And then just hanging around with Laurie, he had tooth envy. So he came in to see me, and it turned out he had some old dentistry. And interesting, because similar to Laurie, he has that same reverse smile. Do you see that in the picture there?
In the before, yes.
Yes. And the sides weren't as full. So, you know, we got rid of a bridge for him. Actually, he had an implant and a combination of veneers, and so there's his after.
Very nice.
So yeah, it's just kind of, I mean, I'm not claiming to run a dating service or anything, but it's fun what happens to people. It does change everything. I mean, look at his before and after side by side. You know, it just it makes him look more sophisticated, really brings out the blue eyes. You can see that he's smiling bigger. When people don't like their teeth, they kind of hold the smile down. Can you put their before and afters up next to each other?
Okay.
I mean, they look like a power couple now.
Yes, yes, they do.
You know, they're like a lot of people that have things that they don't like about their smile. And sometimes people just don't know they can have a small change, and it just makes such a huge difference. Such an increase in confidence, and all kinds of things can happen. Here's another patient. This is Invisalign, Randy. So again, an example of how, gosh, 12 months can make a huge difference there. Look at the close-up, Randy, and just see how we straightened those lower front teeth. You know, a lot of people, and I hear this several times a week, people think Invisalign doesn't work. It's just for the simple cases.
Can you have really crooked teeth?
That.
I mean, could you have really, really crooked teeth?
Oh, absolutely. Take a look at this next smile, Randy. Very crowded lower front teeth, and Invisalign just does the trick. Again, simple, little Invisalign, maybe whitening. Here's a patient with a lot of crowding, a lot of problems here.
Wow.
In fact, most people would think you couldn't take care of this with Invisalign, but let's take a look at her after there, Randy.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
I mean, it amazes me every day, even though we do it all the time.
So people are skeptical, because you've said it a couple of
yes.
times, that they think Invisalign will not work.
Yes, and they've been
told
dramatic. They've been told that by other dentists who haven't learned how to use Invisalign or.
So you do a lot of Invisalign.
Oh yes,
You're like a premier provider or something.
We're an elite provider, which means we've done close to 800 cases and do about 100 cases a year. So we love Invisalign. Here's another one. And again, those lower front teeth are so important. You know, you're dealing with people every day. Take a look at how nice those are in the after. I love to help a young adult get their teeth straight before the teeth get too worn. And
let's take a look at this.
Okay, there's another Invisalign. Very crowded, severe crowding. And if you take a look at her face shot before and after, though, what do you see?
In the after, she looks a little bit more sophisticated.
A little happier.
And a little bit older, like a woman now.
Yes.
With people like this, she had a lot of crooked teeth before.
Yes.
Is it faster than traditional orthodontics? And in most cases, would she have gone to traditional orthodontics?
It is faster because Invisalign is so engineered. There's no extra movements. So yeah, it's definitely faster. Another thing that people don't realize. So.
And it seems easier, right? I mean, is it easier?
Oh, way easier, and you don't have all that gear on your teeth. I mean, every once in a while I'll see someone in the mall with metal braces, and I think, oh, you just got some really bad advice. Why
Really?
would an adult do that? You know?
I mean, it really bothers you that much?
It does.
Takes your breath away.
Yeah, it's so old technology. Yeah.
I mean, you're not anti-orthodontics. You're just saying
no.
for certain people, Invisalign, in your opinion, would be better.
For kids, we still need traditional braces if they have primary teeth. But for adults, Invisalign has replaced
So you see,
braces.
when you see the 30-plus crowd,
yes.
that their teeth have shifted, you don't think they should be using traditional orthodontics?
No, absolutely.
Okay. Coming into this interview, because I guess in Arizona, a lot of people think of you as the veneer person, the high-end, beautiful cosmetic cases.
Sure.
But you do small things like this.
Oh, yes.
All types of things
yes.
like this.
Here's another patient. And this is a great transition, Randy, because you can see she's got crowding and how it has a lot of grayness to it and kind of a band. We cannot whiten our way out of that gray. So to improve the smile, then you have to go to veneers. And that's what she wanted. She wanted the rejuvenating look and to get rid of the worn look. And we straightened her bottom front teeth with veneers as well. Now take a look at that after. It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Yes.
She looks so much more healthy and just fresh and youthful.
Well, they look natural.
Oh, very natural, yes. So you can have bright and still have it be natural.
And they look real. Because oftentimes I always think of veneers as being large or bigger.
Yes. And one of the things that makes them look so natural and pretty is the texture. Because natural teeth are not big, flat planes. They have a lot of texture. They have translucency. You know, they bounce light, more like a natural tooth. So that has a lot to do with the lab that we use. So it's very important to have a lab that really has that same understanding of aesthetics that I do and can get that kind of result.
Do you consider yourself like a perfectionist or an artist? I mean, is there like a lot of this has to do with art?
I don't know if you remember, Randy, I was a fine arts major in college. Honestly, I rely on that every day because I see pattern and shape and color. It's just easy for me to see it, what needs to be tweaked and what could be better or what's wrong. So it really helps to have an eye for it.
You have a lot of experience. I mean, you've been doing cosmetic dentistry for how long?
Since the late 80s.
You've spent a lot of time on training.
I have.
Like, where'd you go?
Yes.
I mean, where do you go to learn this?
Oh, well, I've been through all of the hands-on courses. You know, there's one in San Francisco, Pack Live. I went to New York for Aesthetic Advantage, where you take your patient to the course and prep the case there and have 2 or 3 instructors and the labs are there. So I gained a lot of knowledge from that. That was
Is there that much to it?
very important. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of detail to it. Technique sensitive besides just the aesthetic part. So another huge component to this, Randy, and I mean we could do an entire show about this, but is the bite. And that's a huge part of my training. And in fact, what's so interesting, many times, in fact, I'm thinking of a specific woman, came in for veneers, and we redid her, actually it was a full case, redid her whole mouth, and we didn't even know this was connected, but her headaches went away. She didn't even mention it because she didn't think it was relevant. So as a result of restoring her and getting a proper bite, she felt a lot better. And P.S., she looks better too.
Okay, good. Now we have a time for a few more photos.
Let me show you Arlene. Arlene is just a really terrific gal. She came in, and Randy, the description, I will tell you, and we see this too, her mouth was like a house on fire. And she'd been to a bunch of different places and wasn't getting anywhere.
What does that mean, a house on fire?
Infections in many teeth, but low-level pain. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So she'd been to different places and wasn't getting anywhere. And people don't realize how that impacts your whole body. And she had suffered from fibromyalgia for years. Well, with all that infection, that was making that worse. So we restored her, got all that infection out of there. I mean, look at her after.
Yes.
What I saw when she first came in, and maybe it takes a trained eye, but her before, she's got pain in her whole face. You see how she's kind of tense, and even the jaws are kind of bigger, and then her after. Oh, and by the way, she's lost about 20 pounds.
So it's a much softer look. It's an
Yes.
attractive smile.
Softer look and just getting healthy.
Can somebody be too far gone when their mouth is a mess and there's nothing you can do?
There's always a solution. There's always a solution. We can always figure something out. Let's take a look at Bobby. If you take a look at her before, and of course, we see this a lot. Take a look at her smile. You see how she's kind of barely showing her teeth?
It's kind of covering up the teeth.
Yes. And in fact, she's probably showing them more because we've got the big camera asking her to smile. But she just hated that space her whole life. We've got dark teeth. As we've talked about, whitening after a certain point does not change the color. And she had a lot going on with her back teeth, old dentistry. So in her case, we restored everything with veneers on the front teeth and crowns on the back, engineered her bite, closed the space, and look at that after, Randy.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Now that's a genuine smile there. She's not having to struggle to smile.
When they first see that, themselves in the new teeth for the first time, what happens?
It's pretty exciting. In fact, our whole team gets into it. It's emotional. There's tears, it's a real big deal for people. Very
now, by the
exciting
time
moment.
they get to you, are they usually hating their smile for many years? And then is there a tipping point, like they're doing it for an occasion, like getting married or something that sparks them to want to do this?
Well, often there is. It can be some kind of a class reunion, often a son or daughter's getting married, or they're getting married. It's interesting. There's different things that precipitate someone coming in to get options. So let me show you this next patient, Randy. Probably one of my worst patients.
He's your worst patient, huh?
We have to pretty much dart him with an elephant gun as he's running down the hallway.
Okay.
And P.S. I should tell you, I should disclose that's my husband.
That's your husband?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm going to criticize it for a second here. So he's married to a cosmetic dentist, and he's walking around with those teeth.
I know.
You couldn't get him to do anything?
Well, no. He had no choice.
All right.
But look at his mouth architecture. What's interesting, and it's different for everybody, but he shows almost every tooth. And do you see how those dark old crowns? It almost looks like he has a missing tooth.
Yeah.
So he really needed everything done.
So you're at home, and he's your husband, and you say, look, I got to get veneers on these.
Yes.
So he finally says, okay, fine.
He finally says, okay. And I should tell you, a huge component of our practice is sedation dentistry because two reasons. Most people don't like the dentist, but also it can be just a lengthy procedure. So we brought him in, and he was a sedation case. I took him home, put him in bed at the end of the appointment.
Looks fabulous, by the way. I mean, this guy looks great.
So he comes out into the kitchen about 5 o'clock, and he was kind of mad. He said, "What happened? You let me miss my dental appointment." And he literally didn't remember the appointment because of the sedation.
Is that right?
He felt like he was there about 10 minutes. So
he looks so much younger, by the way,
he?
with these teeth.
Younger, more sophisticated.
Now,
Yes.
your husband has better teeth than all of your friends' husbands. Is that right?
Well, some of them, yes.
That's a very nice smile, by the way. Good for you.
And he gets a lot of compliments. People will ask him, "What kind of whitening are you using?" Because again, it's natural. So So he's enjoying it. Well, actually, this next patient is actually worse because that's me. I'm not a good patient.
There you
I
are.
will just tell you right now.
Oh, boy.
Not a good patient.
So your bottom teeth were the problem.
I mean, I'm a dentist. I'm flossing them. I'm taking good care of them. This is going to happen to everybody at some point.
You live long enough.
Just wear and tear. I went in like that and came out
I'm
like
looking at those
this.
bottom teeth right now, and they look good.
Yeah, it's a big difference. And the other thing I tell people, and it's true, when everything matches, it's so much more natural. And we do a lot of upper-only cases, but I'll tell you what, most people come in a couple years later and they have the lower done because you want everything to match.
What did it do for your confidence?
That's an interesting question because I feel much more confident, and I'm doing a lot of course, consultations all day, one-on-one with people, and I was so conscious of those bottom teeth. So it's a big confidence booster.
So we're completely out of time on the show.
Can I just show you a couple more?
Okay, well, probably another 1 minute at the most.
So great case, simple case, 8 upper veneers. She was missing some permanent teeth, and it just, look at the sophistication in that after. This is another great case, combination of veneers fixing the bite and huge
Very
transformation. Nice. One more. I mean, look at her before. She was,
wow.
It was such an awkward smile, and she's really pretty. And her headache, we've got her headaches reduced quite a bit as well.
Just from, and that's veneers.
From fixing the bite with veneers and crowns. That one we did in stages, Randy. We did the upper, and it's veneers on the front teeth, and then crowns on the back to support the bite.
Final message to the person watching this, and they just don't like their smile, or they're afraid of the dentist.
Right. Well, I would invite them in so that we can have a conversation and just talk about the full range of options they might have. I mean, there's no reason not to, if you're unhappy with your smile, not to do something about it.
Dr. Price, thank you for coming on the show. Excellent, and thanks for coming back.
Thank you, Randy.
You've been watching The Wellness Hour. I'm Randy Alvarez. For now, I wish you good health.
Thanks for watching The Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news with your host, Randy Alvarez, the authority on health issues.